Lauren, can you give us any sort of team news heading into Saturday?
Yeah, so Saatchi Simon will be rested, and Jasmine Stewart, who's actually from Perth originally, will play. So, managing Saatchi, she's obviously still 19 years old in her third year of AFLW and had a significant off-season and currently a bit sore with the congested fixture that we've had. So I think really nice opportunity to play Jazz in her hometown and also give Saatchi an opportunity to freshen up for the back end of the year.
She had a concussion?
That's right, yeah, she didn't play the last game against Carlton either, so obviously a couple of sling tackles against Richmond, which led to a concussion for Kirsty, so she'll be hopefully, assuming she progresses through the protocols she should be available for Collingwood.
How are you adjusting from a coaching point of view to a more congested schedule?
I think, I said this on radio yesterday, I think the beauty of the fixture this year is it was released earlier than normal, so we had a lot of time to plan for it. So we certainly knew this was coming, and we were able to plan our whole pre-season around this space and get the right load in the right points in time in pre-season, so the players were best prepared. So it has been hectic, I will say that, and I think different teams are in different waves of their congested space. So this is sort of the Eagles game and the Collingwood game put us out the other half of it. So it's spent a lot of time at the airport. And it's also positive because you get to spend a lot of time together as a group, and I think the coaching staff, where the majority are in full-time roles outside of footy, the work that they've done to prepare the players and coach them through this space has been exceptional.
Is that showing the growth in the high-performance space as well, that these athletes now are at the level where they can get up and go again?
Yeah, I think certainly in our group, having Anthony Gallamarino come in from Saka and be employed back into last year for us has been enormous, and you'll see that even in the North Melbourne and Richmond games, who I believe, no doubt, North will be in the last couple of weeks of the year in the finals this year, and Richmond at their best are certainly capable of playing at the back end of the year too. So in those games, obviously we were beaten by top end teams, but we also, I felt, outran the game better than those opposition teams. So to watch that happen again against Carlton at Alberton over the weekend is a real positive, and again, we feel we've planned really well for it. We've prepared the players as best we can, and certainly Anthony Gallamarino has been a massive part of that.
For your forward line to be able to get on the roll like you were against the Blues as well, what sort of confidence does that give you heading there?
Yeah, obviously offence has always been a big part of our game style, and to unlock that against Carlton after two trickier games on the road against North and Richmond, I think is a real positive for our group. And the fitness element that we've been at for quite a while now, and we feel we've unlocked a big chunk of it this year. There's still more to come. To see that against better sides and not the results, and then get the result and run over the top late in the game against the Blues at home was certainly confidence building and real positive for the group.
How significant is the milestone for your skipper?
Yeah, Juicy, obviously 75 games in this competition for someone. I don't think she's just turned 30. She hasn't quite turned 30 yet, so she's been exceptional over her career, and obviously won a couple of premierships with Adelaide, and so to come across to us and invest herself in our group and lead in the capacity that she has, we encourage a lot of growth from our players all the time, and to have someone towards the other side, the back end of their career, leading the young ones and showing massive growth in herself. And I think off field as well, it's not overly public, some of the challenges that Josie's faced in away from footy, and her resilience is unmatched in anyone that I've met in my life. So she's been exceptional for our group.
She seems like quite an unassuming person, so her ability to step up and lead, does that surprise you at all?
No, I think Josie, anything you get to know about her, she's team first, very heavily team first, and one of the, I think, if you can say, older school, who asks you for feedback right in the middle of the eyes, and wants it said straight, and always meets the challenge that you present to her. And the way that she's been able to help lead the group in that space, particularly a young group, has been really helpful, and I have no doubt she'll continue to do that.
West Coast this weekend, what's the expectation? They're clearly a stronger team than they have in the last couple of years. What's the focus been around looking ahead this week?
Yeah, I think obviously we do our homework against West Coast, and they've won some good games and playing some promising footy under Daisy. So I think the important thing for us is that we do our homework, but also we play our own game and focus heavily on ourselves. And so it's funny, I think both teams play a pretty similar brand of footy. Got some really exciting young players, and particularly Ella Roberts for them is having an amazing season. So she's someone we need to be prepared for as well.
How much energy is the group getting from those younger players that you mentioned? I love the celebration from Piper last week. She's a Rising Star nominee in Brooksby as well.
Yeah, Molly.
How much energy are they bringing to this?
Oh, I think massive, but also there's a level of professionalism about these young kids too. You think young and you think inexperienced, but also they've been through a full talent pathway that the others haven't, because that didn't exist in women's footy back in the day. So to have those draftees, Alyssa, Shanae, Molly and Piper come through with a level of professionalism we haven't seen before in our draftees has been exceptional, and I think that's showing in their performances.
Janelle Cuthbertson, a couple of weeks post-op now. How's she tracking? And I know she travelled with the group, to Melbourne last week. How's that experience been for her now, getting used to not being on the field with them?
Yeah, obviously Janelle's still our skipper, and it's been a really challenging space for her. Her second ACL, and it's not an easy thing to get out the other side of an ACL surgery. So I think she's just been an incredible leader in as many ways as she can, and obviously from Perth as well. So we'll have her in Perth with us, which will be really helpful, I think, for the group and for us.